Hey guys, it's Vanessa with Up and Growing, and I'm going to be putting together a big O design. I'm going to have the camera move back a little bit because it's going to be a taller one, but I wanted to explain my base. So I'm using a 1.5 inch thick insulation board. It's 14 inches round. I just covered it in green clay, and then I did all the layering of grass all the way around it. We are going to be using our jelly bean, our carrot. I have done both of these here on a Facebook Live. And then I also did this bunny in a quick video. I'm not sure if it's here or just on Facebook. I'm not too sure. But I'm going to incorporate all of these guys here on this base, and then of course I'm going to be adding some embellishments. I'm not going to be adding all the embellishments here on the video, but I'm just going to give you guys an idea of kind of where I'm going with the design. And then when it's all finished and I have all my little cuties on there, I'll take a picture and post it here, of course. So let's get started. All right, so I'm going to be using some dowels. Okay, so I pre-drill my holes. I cut my dowels on an angle, and I'm going to glue that in. Kind of want this like that. And I've already lined it up, so I'm going to try and go off the hole that I already have here. It looks like I got it. Perfect. So if you wanted to cover your bottom with some foam sheet, you can. I'm not going to be doing that. And then I'm just going to hot glue this in. I know I don't need this as long as I have it, but we'll glue it in. Now I went with the 1.5 inch base because I didn't want this dowel just sitting in anything smaller. So I'm going to trim that. And I think I want it just like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some, let's use the tacky glue. I'm going to put some tacky glue right here around my hole where my clay is going to be touching. You can use super glue. You probably don't need anything, but I want it. And then I'm going to hot glue my dowel into my foam. I'm just going to hold this till it dries. Okay, so now for my bunny, I want to kind of put him like this, just sitting right behind the carrot. I am going to be adding later on some little paws here. Sorry guys. So I'm going to run a dowel through here, a dowel through here. They will be hidden behind the carrot. I'm also going to be adding some green fluff. So if it's sitting awkward and my dowels are exposed, I'm not worried about that because I will be adding some pops of the Easter fluff from Hobby Lobby. So I want it to sit like this, where his teeth are just at the carrot, and then we'll get his paws in here. So the same thing, I'm going to run dowels through here and hot glue them in. So I ran the dowels inside the foam. I haven't glued them in yet. And then I just marked down on my clay. I made 2 holes there where I think I want them. And I'm going to take another dowel and I'm going to pre-drill those holes open. I'm not committing to glue until I know this is where I want it. Once I line everything up, then I will go ahead and glue it all in. I know I don't need them this long, so I'm just going to trim them a little bit. be sitting. All right, I don't like that, so I'm gonna move that dowel up on an angle because I don't mind a space that I can hide, but I don't want this big of a space. So this is where we're at. I do have that space, but like I said, we'll cover it with his little paw. And then here, I'm gonna get that jelly bean. I'm gonna get that jelly bean kind of sitting silly like. Same thing, I'm gonna run a dowel hot glue, pre-drill my hole and get it in there. All right, so I have this candy that I made. Probably gonna put right about here. And of course, we will have our Easter bunny gingerbread. I have a whole little family of chicks. I have done these for you guys. I also want to look at this little baby. He's so cute. I also have some lollipops. I have some small jelly beans. I also have some carrots. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using them. We'll just see as we go. And then of course I'll be adding a little bit more grass in between stuff and a lot of eggs. I haven't attached my chicks just yet, but I added the jelly bean, the candy, the gingerbread, and then these two lollipops. And we're just gonna keep going. I think I'm gonna make the pause now because I want to see this space disappear. It's kind of driving me crazy. So I got her little paws on, and I'm gonna give her a mock body and fill in that space. And with a little glue and some clay, we filled that space in. You guys could use boa and make her all frilly and fancy. Okay, so I did go in and marry her head with that mock body, just adding some clay in here, and then I use my chippy brush to give it some texture. You can also use aluminum foil. I used super glue to glue the fresh clay onto the dry clay and then build off of that. Okay, now I'm just going to attach my chicks where I have them here in place. I'm just going to be using some kebab skewers. I'm slipping on glitter. I'm going to hot glue them into my base, and then I'm going to run super glue. I don't have any skewers or anything in these bodies, so I don't have to worry about knocking any support out. Okay, so I have my chicks attached, and now I'm going to be adding some more grass. So I'm just going to go in, this clay is dry, I'm going to go in with some tacky glue, just in a couple spots. Maybe. And I'm going to add some fresh clay so that I have a base to work off of. Of course, I got it on my hands. Sorry if I'm sticking my head in the camera. And then I'm just going to make, it's easier for me to do this flat. So I'm just going to make some strands of grass. I'm going to put a couple together, and then I'll work in sections around my design where I want to add the different layers of grass. They can all be different lengths. That. I want to leave some down here. Do that. So I want it a little longer than I actually want it. And then I'm going to fold that into that fresh clay. I know this is hard to see, so that it stands up. And then I'm going to go with this small knife, and then I'll texture it as I am layering it. And then I'll just put a little texture into those strands. I want them all just standing straight up. The grass is very forgiving. You can't really mess it up. If it's too long and you've already stuck it to your clay, just kind of fold it over. I just did that right there. And then go back in and give it more texture. I know that's very hard to see. So this can be done in sections. You just go in with your tacky glue, add a piece of fresh clay, add your little grass bundles, shape them how you want. Let me lower my camera. And then you can blend that in there with a little texture. I'm also going to be putting some eggs around. So don't think you can mess this up. It is very tedious and time consuming, but it really is worth it. I got some grass, covered my little chicks' little toes. That's fine. I'm gonna put some eggs there, and then you can just do that in the spots. I'm obviously not gonna cover this whole thing, but I am gonna do it in some spots, and I'm gonna add some eggs. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you what I'm gonna do for my eggs. I just cut a little piece of toothpick. I'm gonna hot glue it in there. I'm going to use a little bit of super glue, even though my eggs are going to be fresh clay. And that is going to be sticking to fresh clay. Just rolled out some little eggs. You guys don't have to make everything. And then that grass kind of falls, just like if you dropped an egg in it. I started working on a spot here. I'm going to add some little eggs there as well. And this is going to take me a while because I'm just going to keep layering it. So I'm going to stop here and then I will post a picture to my Facebook page so you guys can see the finished product. Give you another up close. I'll add a little grass in front of that candy, and then we'll just random eggs. I might want to get another one of these jelly beans in, we'll see. But if you want to check out the finished product, I will have it up. I'll finish this by tomorrow for sure. And then just check it out on my Facebook page. Thanks, guys.